Verstappen reveals his future plans after talks with rivals escalate, Lewis gets Ferrari boost for Austria, and Russell gets blasted for Canada incident. Do consider subbing. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Lewis Hamilton's journey with the Scuderia Ferrari has not exactly been smooth sailing, and that's putting it lightly. The legendary driver's struggles with the SF25 car are becoming harder to ignore, and the media is starting to shine a brighter light on these issues. Imagine this: 10 races into the season, and not a single podium finish to his name. Robert Dornbos, a former Formula One driver, expressed his sympathy for Hamilton, jokingly recalling the times he also faced a dry spell without a champagne moment. But behind the humor lies a more serious sentiment. Dornbos isn't viewing the future of Hamilton's season with any optimism. As the calendar inches closer to the halfway mark, Hamilton's achievements consist of a solitary sprint win. His performance during race days has been less than stellar, with a best result of 4th place at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, sitting a frustrating 2 seconds off the podium. With this current form, he's found himself placed 6th in the Drivers' Championship, trailing an astonishing 119 points behind leader Oscar Piastri. If he continues to slide down the standings, he risks matching his all-time worst finish of 7th place from last season with Mercedes. This stint without a top 3 finish, lasting 10 races, is not just a blip, it's the longest drought in Hamilton's illustrious career. Reflecting on this unprecedented situation, Dornbos remarked, "I see a Lewis Hamilton who hasn't taken a podium in 10 races in Formula One. That has never happened in his career." In conveying his empathy, Dornbos reflects on his own experiences, humorously noting, "I know how it feels. I had 11 races and didn't take a podium either. I feel for that boy." He had privately hoped that Hamilton might have the chance to challenge for championship glory with Ferrari, picturing a scenario where Hamilton could utilize his legendary status to elevate the team's performance. However, that vision appears increasingly distant, with Dornbos pointing to continued turmoil within Ferrari. He believes that the changes in personnel, especially when compared to the team's successful years that were dominated by Michael Schumacher, have contributed to the current struggles. Back then, key figures like Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne played pivotal roles, and Dornbos argues that the balance seems skewed today. As the season unfolds, Formula One fans are left wondering, will Lewis Hamilton find a way to reclaim his former greatness with Ferrari, or will the team's historical struggles continue to overshadow a driver who has redefined excellence in the sport? Only time will tell how this season will conclude for Hamilton and the Scuderia, but one thing is certain: the path ahead is fraught with challenges. Now, while Hamilton is a key figure for Ferrari, his recent performances have raised eyebrows. There's an ongoing sentiment that he might not be fast enough to deliver the competitive edge the team desperately needs. This has led to increasing scrutiny over Hamilton's communication with his race engineer, Ricardo Admai. Experts suggest that the synergy between a driver and their engineer is crucial for success, much like the dynamics of a marriage. Unfortunately, according to former driver Dornbos, it seems Hamilton and Admai are experiencing more downs than upes. Dornbos pointed out that while the initial hype around Hamilton's entry was exhilarating, it has since faded, revealing a lack of performance on the track. It's a challenge when you consider the unique dynamics at play: an Englishman navigating an Italian team structure compounded by the presence of a Monegasque driver. This configuration has resulted in Hamilton feeling the weight of expectations, only to face criticism for not meeting them. In addition to Hamilton, there are further developments in the Ferrari camp. The team is making a notable change for the first practice in Austria, replacing Charles Leclerc with one of their junior drivers. This decision emphasizes the mounting pressure on all their drivers to perform consistently. As the drama unfolds, Toto Wolff, a leading figure in F1, has pinpointed critical issues that are costing Hamilton essential points. He argues that being parachuted into an all-Italian team presents unique hurdles for the British driver, further complicating his journey toward success in this competitive landscape. In a sport where every error can come at a significant cost, communication and teamwork become paramount. So, can Hamilton turn the tides and overcome the hurdles he's currently facing? With the season still ongoing, fans are eagerly watching to see whether the strategic changes at Ferrari, alongside internal dynamics, can spark a turnaround in fortunes. Only time will disclose whether Hamilton can reclaim his status as a frontrunner, or if the mounting challenges will redefine his legacy in Formula One. Stay tuned for the unfolding saga. Christian Horner recently shared his early predictions for the upcoming Austrian Grand Prix, setting the stage for both Red Bull and McLaren as they head into this crucial race. Red Bull has two primary objectives. First, to avoid a penalty point for Max Verstappen, and second, to close the gap on McLaren in the F1 2025 standings. However, achieving these goals may not be straightforward. With forecasts predicting a hot weekend, the conditions could favor McLaren, presenting a significant challenge for Red Bull. Looking back at the previous race in Montreal, Verstappen managed not only to reclaim some points from the championship-leading McLarens, but also successfully avoided receiving a penalty point. This has been particularly important as the reigning world champion has accumulated 11 penalty points since his incident with George Russell during the Spanish Grand Prix. As he races in Austria, avoiding that dreaded 12-point mark becomes critical. Crossing that threshold would lead to an automatic race ban. Despite the pressure, Verstappen successfully navigated through the tense moments in Canada, including a hair-raising late race incident with Russell. Thankfully, the stewards deemed no action necessary, allowing him to focus on the next challenge ahead. The upcoming Austrian Grand Prix is key, especially since Verstappen will have the opportunity to shed 2 penalty points following the race. This drop would reduce his total to 9, easing some of the pressure as he continues to chase that elusive championship title. As they prepare for this home race at the Red Bull Ring, team boss Christian Horner expressed enthusiasm about the event, which is known for its thrilling atmosphere and challenging track layout. However, he acknowledged that the weekend will be vital for the team's performance. Verstappen has enjoyed considerable success at the Austrian Grand Prix, having clinched. Yet, Horner raised concerns that the RB21 may not perform optimally on the circuit's medium-speed corners, especially with the predicted heat conditions likely benefiting their rivals McLaren. As temperatures are set to soar beyond 30 degrees Celsius over the weekend, the pressure is mounting for Red Bull. They will need not only skilled driving from Verstappen, but also a well-executed race strategy to counter the challenges posed by McLaren. As we approach the Austrian Grand Prix, all eyes will be on how Red Bull manages these dual objectives. Can they successfully navigate the heat, keep Verstappen penalty-free, and close the gap to their competitors in the championship race? Only time will tell, but the stakes have never been higher. As the excitement builds for the upcoming Austrian Grand Prix, Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, expressed his enthusiasm for the event. He noted the event's popularity and the significant fan support for Max Verstappen in Austria. Horner emphasized that even though the team has faced challenges, there's still plenty of racing left in the season. It's always a popular event, Horner shared. However, he acknowledged that they've encountered some weaknesses, particularly in medium-speed corners, which could impact their performance in Austria. He also hinted at the prospect of a hot race day, which may shift the competitive edge back to McLaren. This season, McLaren has been the standout performer, claiming 6 Grand Prix victories. Oscar Piastri is currently leading the championship, with his teammate Lando Norris trailing closely. Verstappen, while still a formidable competitor, is 21 points behind the lead. Horner admitted that while they face a daunting deficit, the fight is far from over. There's still a significant points gap between us and them, he said, but he remains optimistic. With numerous races ahead, including sprint races, he believes consistent performance improvements could narrow the gap. Nobody gives up on anything, he affirmed. As Horner reflects on the challenges and opportunities ahead, it's evident that the competitive spirit in Formula One pushes teams like Red Bull to keep striving for excellence. Fans can look forward to a thrilling battle as the races progress. Could Max Verstappen really make a shocking transition from Red Bull to Aston Martin? It's a hot topic right now, particularly with whispers of a potential investment deal worth a staggering $1 billion. But to set the record straight, let's dive into what's been said. According to Aston Martin's simulator driver, Daniel Juncadella, these speculations are far from reality. He expressed his disbelief over the notion that Verstappen, a driver passionately focused on winning, would even consider such a move when he's currently achieving spectacular success with Red Bull. Despite Verstappen's long-term contract with Red Bull, which runs until the end of the 2028 season, there have been persistent questions surrounding his future. This was sparked firstly by the buzz linking him to Mercedes last year, fueled by team principal Toto Wolff looking for a successor to Lewis Hamilton. Just recently, rumors about Verstappen potentially moving to Aston Martin cropped up again. Reports floated around that the team was contemplating a huge $1 billion investment, which included a jaw-dropping salary offer of $100 million annually for a 3-year stint with the Dutch racing star. However, Aston Martin quickly, categorically denied these rumors, putting an end to speculation over any big money deals. Juncadella reiterated his confusion, highlighting that Verstappen is still clinching victories and aiming for his 5th consecutive World Championship title with Red Bull, while Aston Martin rebuilds its team. As for Aston Martin's future potential, Juncadella acknowledged the arrival of design heavyweight Adrian Newey to lead the team's new F1 car slated for 2026. While the atmosphere within the team is reportedly positive, Juncadella maintains it's not sufficient to lure someone of Verstappen's caliber away from the success he's enjoying with Red Bull. Verstappen himself weighed in on the matter, stating in an interview that it's simply too soon for conversations about his potential move, especially when he hasn't even tested the new 2026 simulator yet. He emphasized that there's no sense of negativity within Aston Martin, urging fans not to buy into the media narrative. Instead, he implied that some rumors, particularly regarding the link to Aston Martin, should be approached with skepticism. After all, who could genuinely believe that Max Verstappen would jump ship to Aston Martin, even for an insane sum like $1 billion? The truth is, he's driven by one thing: winning. He made it crystal clear that Red Bull is where he belongs, making that his team of choice without a doubt. So, while Aston Martin may be striving for greatness and building their future, it seems Verstappen remains firmly on Team Red Bull, keeping his eyes set on the podium and adding more trophies to his collection. As fans, it's essential to stay tuned, as the world of F1 can change rapidly. But for now, the rumors of Verstappen's move remain just that: rumors. Recently, Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, faced questions about an exit clause in Max Verstappen's contract. This clause allegedly allows Verstappen to leave if he finds himself outside the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship. However, Horner is quick to point out that a driver's decision goes beyond mere contractual terms. He emphasizes that the relationship between a driver and their team plays a crucial role. Horner stated, "Drivers have performance clauses in their contracts, but it's about their comfort and confidence in the team." He reassures fans that there has never been any discussion with Verstappen about leaving Red Bull. His commitment, according to Horner, has been unwavering. Instead of referring to contracts, Horner believes the focus should be on teamwork and trust between the driver and the team. Verstappen himself recently shared insights on his Formula One future in an interview with ESPN. When asked about the length of his racing career, he made it clear he has a contract until 2028. He then added a thoughtful perspective: "I will do it as long as I enjoy it." In a recent discussion surrounding Formula One, George Russell found himself at the center of a heated debate regarding his actions during the Canadian Grand Prix. Ralf Schumacher has gone so far as to say that Russell was not far from a foul, noting even Max Verstappen wouldn't have pulled a move like that. Now, what happened in Canada? The race saw both Verstappen and Russell lined up at the front. Russell, who was leading, faced an unexpected turn of events when the safety car was deployed, changing the dynamics of the race. At that moment, Verstappen was running in second place, ready to capitalize on any mistake. As the safety car came into play after an incident involving Lando Norris, Russell attempted to warm up his tires by braking sharply. This unexpected move caught Verstappen off guard, allowing him to slide past Russell. In a matter of moments, the reigning world champion had overtaken Russell, which led to an outcry from the Mercedes driver over team radio. In the world of Formula One, Overtaking during safety car conditions is a serious offense, potentially leading to time penalties or additional penalty points. However, the FIA stewards concluded that both drivers' actions during this incident did not warrant any penalties. Red Bull, feeling that Russell had breached sportsmanship protocols, took it a step further by protesting his victory. Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, criticized Russell's actions, suggesting a deliberate intent on his part that went against the spirit of racing. This led to a protest under Article 55.5 of the sporting regulations, which deals with unsporting behavior. In response to the protest, the FIA stewards dismissed Red Bull's claims, suggesting they had no basis. Meanwhile, Schumacher shared his thoughts on the incident, suggesting that while Russell had cleverly manipulated the situation, he skirted closely to crossing a line. He remarked that Russell's brake check was a clear signal. Hey, I know the rules too, and I can do it too. This brings us to an interesting point about the competitive nature of Formula One. Drivers often push the boundaries of the regulations, seeking to gain an edge over their rivals. George Russell's maneuver during that race certainly raised eyebrows, not just among fans, but also amongst analysts and former drivers alike. As fans of the sport, we appreciate the thrill and drama that unfolds during these races. Each event is a complex interplay of strategy, skill, and sometimes controversy. Russell's actions added an extra layer of excitement to the Canadian GP, illustrating just how high the stakes can be in Formula One. In conclusion, while George Russell's actions were scrutinized and debated, the incident only highlights the intensity of competition in F1 today. Will this set a precedent for future races? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the rivalry between these top drivers is far from over, and discussions surrounding fair play and sportsmanship will continue to fuel the conversations within this high-octane sport. Even Max Verstappen wouldn't resort to the methods we've seen lately. He tends to take a more gallant approach. However, it's clear that a desire to win fiercely is at the forefront of today's competition in Formula One. The recent performance showcases how far drivers are willing to go to claim victory, and Russell's first win this season sparked conversations about his future with the team. Currently, Russell is out of contract at the season's end, and while he has stated his intentions to negotiate only with Mercedes, rumors circulate suggesting that Verstappen may have his eyes on the Brackley squad as well. The pressure is mounting for team principal Toto Wolff to make decisions that will secure Russell's future before rival teams can swoop in. As former F1 star Michael Schumacher points out, George is doing everything right at the moment. But with the dynamics in Formula One shifting rapidly, those who remain patient may risk losing valuable talent. Russell is undoubtedly a hot prospect among teams looking for reliable drivers, yet the shadow of Max Verstappen looms large. Schumacher further emphasized that Verstappen's ability to extract the most from any race situation sets him apart. He's a driver that any team would welcome with open arms. Meanwhile, names like Oscar Piastri, Russell himself, and Charles Leclerc follow closely behind in the talent race. Switching gears, there were noteworthy mentions in the F1 community over the weekend. The racing scene buzzed with excitement as Daniel Ricciardo made a surprise appearance alongside Oscar Piastri for a friendly game of paddle, breaking the usual competitive silence. And to wrap up recent developments, Dan Ticktum has spoken out regarding a comment made by George Russell after their latest encounter in Spain. Ticktum expressed that while he holds no grudge against Russell, the jab felt unnecessary given the circumstances. As we look ahead to future races, the competitive atmosphere remains intense, reminding us that Formula One is not just about speed, but strategy, relationships, and the ever-changing nature of the sport itself. Keep your eyes peeled as the season unfolds. It's bound to be an exhilarating ride.